to do the sharing because sharing is caring. I have to do the sharing on TikTok. I'm on both TikTok and YouTube. So, give me 1 second while I share. Hello, good morning. Just sharing because sharing is caring. Good morning. TT. I think I skipped past that. I missed the name. Where is it? Jonathan. There. It's like I know I remembered the name this time so I can keep sharing correctly. Bonjour. Bonjour. How are you? I almost went to Spanish. Almost went muy bien, and then I was like, "Wait, we're speaking French right now." Magnifique. Hello, Carol. But it was just funny. Start switching it into French, from French to Spanish. I know a whole bunch of different languages, but only poco e poco, poco y poco, right? Like it was just a teeny bit. Or picante. Trying to think, I could go through all the languages I know and just a teeny little bit of language. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in America. Damia, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you, and I have got to send Damia a message and say, how are you doing? And check in on you. I hope that you are well. I love you, and I have been thinking about you. So I'm so happy that you showed up today. It just made my morning. I get to check in with you like this. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving to our American friends. I love you. I love you. Literally seeing you here always brightens my mood. It lifts me up every time. I absolutely love you. So we're going to do special cards today because it's Thursday. It's also the day before the full moon. The full moon, no, it's the day before. The full moon's the 30th and the 1st, so it's 2 days before the full moon. But we're coming into the full moon and, no, sorry, the new moon. Listen to this. I gotta just take a minute. Just gonna pause for a minute, let the brain catch up. Sit with me for a minute. It's a new moon in Sagittarius on Saturday or Sunday, depending on where you live in the world. New moon, Sagittarius, not full moon, and not tomorrow. Tomorrow's only Friday. Tomorrow we are going to be doing a Loving Up the Appalachians, which is a joint collective prayer. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm glad that you're thankful for that. I'm all about unity, and I inherently believe that at the core of every person, every being, that we inherently want the same things. It's just that the information is presented in a bunch of different ways. And depending on all of the things that brought us to the point that we are in our lives, we either respond to some information that's coming in because it's our viewpoint, it aligns with us, or we see it in a different way. So I think, a lot of the division in America and in other places, in Canada, we have our election as well, and when we get to that point, we are going to be experiencing the same divide collectively until we can allow that divide to drop. right? If we can look at it from the concept of right wing, left wing, same bird, same bird, right? And nobody external or outside of us does anything to save us. It's all within. Yep, Mandy, and I would love to help you, but but you have to help yourself a little bit, right? Because you're the one that does the work. You're the one that has to follow through. You're the one that has to actually implement those changes, right? I'm just a guide. I give you information. I'm a teacher. I'm a healer in that sense. But everything that gets done for us is within us, right? So in order, when you come onto my feed and you say that you need help, and I instruct you to make a call on my website for free and attend that call, that's all you have to do. And I will have a call with you and see what I can do to help you, right? It's a free call. You have to make the call, which is a Zoom meeting, and you have to attend the call at the time that you've scheduled it. That's what you have to do. And I will, on my side, receive the meeting time and put it in my calendar, and I will meet you in the meeting at that time. And then I'll help you. And then I'll help you. Right? That's how that works. But I can't just like help you without you doing something. That's all. Okay? And because if you can't at least do that part of making the phone call and attending that meeting, then I don't have a lot of faith that you're going to do the work. And you're the one that needs to do the work, not me. There's no one that saves anybody. Hello, Santa. Good morning, Salasia. We all save ourselves, right? Just like I am as a nurse, I didn't heal anybody. They healed themselves. I just, either you help or you hinder in the situation. Okay. Today is Transformation Thursday. It's Jupiter Day, which is my favorite day. Thursday. I've always loved Thursday. Thursday, I feel good. And probably because I have a lot of Jupiter in my chart, because I have a lot of Sagittarius. And I also have Pisces in Jupiter, which is Jupiter doubled up. Like, because Pisces is governed by Jupiter and also by Venus. So, yeah, so it's a very beautiful day. I love it. And because it's a beautiful day that to me represents abundance, I'm going to pull the Mary Magdalene cards, and I will pull some Shaman Durek cards. So these are cards that have energy and or codes imbued within them. So there's a specific thing that you have to do with the Shaman Durek cards. With the Magdalene manifestation cards, you just have to receive it. You don't have to say anything. You just receive, right? Allow that to be yours, right? 777's right there. You know, 777's good number, good number. So yes, let's see what our cards are for today. So the Mary Magdalene manifestation codes, they have 3 different styles of cards, as I just scattered them all over the place, all over the place. So let's pick these up, and we'll flip that one over. We'll take the one there. So they come in a 2-part system. So there is the key and there is the hologram. There is also resource cards, because according to life, we have 4 different resources, right? Why are you letting it? Why are you fighting with it? Why are you allowing it to do that, Ashanti? Right? It's one of the things that I find the most tragic about trauma, because here was this experience that we endured because of someone else and their issue, whatever it is that was their issue, right? For some of us, we dealt with physical abuse, or we dealt with neglect, or we dealt with sexual abuse, or we dealt with all of these things. That's an issue in somebody else, right? That's a failure for that person to have access to their higher self, to be connected with their heart and soul, and to be able to, make decisions from that space where you would never hurt somebody. You would never do that to somebody, right? So it's something that is with them, but we take it into ourselves and determine to carry that burden and keep it alive through our thoughts and through our emotions and through applying our awareness to it over and over and over and over again. So they literally took your love away. They took your love away from you. And now your love is all things outside of us. And we consume, 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 trying to fill the hole that is left because we don't love ourselves. Right? And the way to heal that is to just love yourself ferociously. Love yourself. What is love for you? Does it mean getting up a little bit later in the morning? Does it mean, going for a run? Does it mean meditating? Does it mean drawing? Does it mean dancing? Does it mean singing? Does it mean doing something, playing with your hair? Does it mean interacting with animals? Does it mean your group of friends that you collect with? Does it mean interacting with nature? Like, what is love for you? Happy Thanksgiving, Bubbles. Right? What is love for you? And we've went to the extreme of, in a lot of ways, thinking that we're pouring love into everybody around us. We're giving everything away that we need to give to ourselves. Like we're in this outward space, doing all of this outward stuff, when the only thing that we need to do is go within. Right? If you treat yourself like you love yourself, and you treat yourself like you're valuable, and you treat yourself like you're worthy, and you take care of yourself, I thank you for that. That's cute. Right? When you do that for yourself, then that stuff doesn't affect you anymore. Right? Why are you keeping it alive? And I talked about this, and I talk about this, and I will talk about it again. And I will continue to talk about it, because I'm here to show you what you can do. I'm here to inspire you and to make you know that by loving yourself, you transmute all that trauma. All that energy is transmuted through love. And the love is loving yourself. And I know this because I chose a life filled with trauma. I've been kidnapped twice. I've had many other attempts being kidnapped. Literally, the 2 times that I did get kidnapped was not fun. I blocked one out completely, and still have no recollection of it. And I'm not saying this to say, woe is me in any way. I fully accept everything that happened to me, and I love myself ferociously, fearlessly, full stop. Am I perfect? No. Nobody is. Nobody is. Trauma isn't going to wreck your spirit. Trauma cannot wreck your spirit. Your spirit is perfect, loved, healthy, whole. Your trauma is unscathed, but your soul, your spirit is unscathed by that. It's our physical self. It's the 3D construct that we're in right now. That's the one that's experiencing it. And you are more than that. You are not just your thoughts, because if you were just your thoughts, the second your thoughts stopped, you'd be gone. You'd be dead. That'd be it. It'd be over. So you're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. If you were your feelings, the moment that your feelings stopped, again, you would cease to exist. You're not your thoughts and your feelings combined even, right? You're so far more than that. And this is one experience, one facet of your being that you are experiencing. And we're experiencing it to evolve and grow. And we come down here and we get put through all of these things, the societal conditioning, the matrix, as we want to call it. We get put through traumatic experiences, all of these things that disconnect us from the source of what we actually are, which is pure, healthy, unconditional loving. It is beautiful energy. Now, I say very clearly in all my messaging, unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance. It does not mean that you accept somebody in your life who's abusive because you unconditionally love. No, 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 no. Unconditional love still means making hard choices, because love isn't just soft and syrupy, right? When you love yourself, you're disciplined. That's harsh. That's more the, that's a a harder boundary, right? So love isn't just softness. Love has that combination of both, because love is wrapped in masculine and feminine energy. It's not just the softness of feminine that loves, it's the strength of masculine that loves. And trust me when I say strength, I do not equate strength to meaning that feminine is weaker, because there is no weaker. That's a divisionary tactic that we have living in this construct that we need to move beyond. There is no division. There is no separation. Everybody bleeds the same color. Everybody has a body that they're inhabiting with their spirit. Everybody is the same. And our spiritual self all goes back to the same source. I don't know what that means, Jason. It's just a dress. I don't know what we would call the dress. Like, it's just I don't know. I'm not, if I don't do, I just wear clothes I like. I don't worry about what style or what type really it is, or anything about, if I'm making a conscious choice to consume something, so consuming means wearing as well. If I'm making a conscious choice to consume something, the thing that would probably be the prevailing factor that would make me determined to purchase it, besides the fact that I like how it looks and whether on and like how it looks, right? If is the fabric. That's the only thing is I want to, and well, sorry, the fabric and how it was created, right? So if I can get something that's 100% cotton, I want something that's 100% cotton because it's better for me. Vibrationally speaking, it is better for me to wear a natural fabric. Two, if that cotton is derived from a space where it is culled in a humane way, the workers are treated humanely, they're paid a great wage. Like, if everything's done in a great way, that's the one I want to buy. Because it doesn't matter if it's cotton or not. If that cotton is bought through and from a company where they use child or slave labor or abuse their workers, or if you know any of that, if they're harming the environment, right? If you find out those things, then by us being, these spirits, then you have to take ownership for that. You have to determine that you're going to take your awareness, your attention, which allows you to be that consumer, and you're going to put it somewhere else, and you're going to consume something that has a much better footprint on society or benefit to you in a healthy way, right? And I'm not saying that you have to go to the space where I am, where I would prefer to wear fabrics that are all natural. You by all means can wear whatever fabrics you choose for yourself. The point is making the choice to say, I'm not going to consume things to fill a hole. I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to buy things because I have a need for them, and I'm going to make an ethical choice when I'm buying it. That's it. That's how we change the world, one thing at a time, right? So if you find out that you're putting your attention on actors and actresses who are guilty of specific actions, or you know what I'm talking about. If you're putting it on that, well, then that's you, right? Hi, Crystal. That's you, putting your attention on that and giving it more power, right? So pull your attention back. We're going to do something really, really cool. Yeah, I got it in Costa Rica. I don't know. It has I don't know what this type of collar line is. And it has a really pretty skirt that has flowers along the edge of it. So, that's all I can tell you. Yeah, you change the world by starting within. So we're going to go within today. Okay, we're going to go within today when we do the transformation portion. Thank you, Steve. One of my favorite colors too. It reminds me of the ocean or water in general, right? And I love the ocean. I love the water. Me a water baby. I would love to swim. My mom and I have this joke. So those of you that were in the space of ADHD. I'm trying not to use it as a label. So some of us have identified as having ADHD, right? So when you identify as having that, some of those who identify have a specific characteristics of ADHD, which is a difficulty showering. And this can be something that is considered to be on the spectrum of autism as well, or Asperger's is the other name for it. So, because when you start to get into having issues with textures and sounds and stuff like that, that's where it bridges over into the other space. And ADHD and autism, oftentimes they get handed out, together as a diagnosis, and there are a lot of overriding things within that. Now, I firmly believe that it's an ingestion of a lot of toxic substances combined with, so toxic substances like our red dyes and the aspartame and all these other things. On the other side, it's a mask that we wear to, because of the traumas that we experience. So there's some conditioning that comes into having ADHD. So diet and consumption of those toxic things that cause a disruption, as well as trauma and the way that we adapted so that we could have safety or we could find belonging and stuff like that. And then the rest of it, I believe, is just a different way of seeing, or, of operating. So your brain functions in a different way. And for those of us that have, adopted or been given the diagnosis of ADHD, that is like a super highway. So there's like many streams of information that are running through your mind at any given time. And you can hop from one to the other so quickly. And this is a very beautiful way, like a beautiful brain that gives you the ability to be very pattern recognition is very high. There's, like you can hop from one space to the other. They make great sentries, right? They make someone that would defend a border because they're able to recognize slight movements way out there because they recognize the patterns very quickly within life. They might have great spatial tools as well. So it's just a different way of your brain functioning versus what they call the neurotypical. But the other symptoms that are in, so I think there's, like I like the neurotypical and neurospicy. I just like to call it spicy because, I think that I'm spicy because of all the fire I have in my in my natal chart. The spiciness. So the spiciness is just a different way that your brain functions. But when you add the other things onto it, I think that the hyper awareness or the hyper focus, sometimes some of that was created through trauma of the, I'm just going to put my head down and I'm just going to focus on this, and then everything that's going around me, I'm disconnected from it. Right? I am definitely spicy. I have like 5 Sagittarius placements and an Aries. My Aries being in Chiron. So I'm definitely got a bit of fire. So neuro spicy. So the other part about being hypersensitive, well, when you've experienced neglect and you've experienced abuse, why would you not be hypersensitive? So that's where I've come to with that, and I hope that you can kind of see why I would get to that point, right? And when we go within and just acknowledge and accept that this is the way that I am, like I am, and I'm not lacking anything, right? Everything is within us. The Akashic records are within us, right? When I'm channeling, it's coming from within, right? Because there is only self. This is the only, right? Because you're not just your body. You're not just your thoughts. You're not just your emotions. You're not your beliefs. You're all that and more. You're far more than that. And when you connect to your higher self, when you connect to yourself, it is energy. It is spacious. It is no ending and no beginning, right? It's a constant. It's not lacking anything. It's perfect. Because how could your higher self not be perfectly healed, healthy, and whole? right? It's this physical body that takes on those things because we intervene in our lives. So all you have to do is connect to your higher self, and that's how you heal, right? You can, the more that you connect into your higher self, the more that you connect into that healed, healthy, whole perfection that you are, and the more you bring that into your reality. Greetings, Bridget. Okay, so we've got powerful cards today. I need to find their matching pairs because, as I was saying with the Magdalene manifestation cards, these cards are, they function in 3 ways. So we have resource. The resource is either a relationship or it's, exactly. It's either a relationship, it's time, it's energy, or it's money. So we need these resources in our life. So these are the 4 resources. Then they have a key, and they also have, that's really cool. I'm actually going to give you guys all of them then. There's a key that we need as well. And the key is, it basically unlocks the door. And then there's the hologram that goes, that's corresponding with the key. So just pulling out the corresponding cards. Oh, and look at that. We've got the last resource, and since it stood out to me, we're going to get all 4 resources. So we'll talk about that as I pull them. I just need one more of the pair. Okay, and we'll check in on a couple other cards. Okay. We'll start with the resource cards. I'll show you those. So these are the resources that we need, okay? So again, you don't have to do anything except for claim the card, and you don't have to say anything to claim it. If you claim it, you claim it. That's it. So we have our radiant energy. Okay. Just give it close to each one. Hi guys. Radiant energy. So radiant energy, opulent vitality. Being energized is natural. Say no to what drains you and yes to what lights you up, and be highly magnetic. And it's true. Well, you know that it's good for you when you feel lightness from it. Right? It's an easy way to tell if it's good for you or not. Do you feel lightness? If you don't, if it makes you feel heavy, if you go around somebody and you feel heavy, if you go around and if you're in an environment and you feel weighted down, if you are wherever, whatever it is, if you eat something and it makes you feel heavy, if you engage in an activity and it makes you feel heavy, that is not in alignment with you. Because anything that's truly in alignment with you is going to be lightness. Because you are light. Right? Isn't it magical? Like you feel like you're like literally like across the top of like you feel like you're walking on air just a little bit, right? But you feel really light. So we also need our relationships. So we're going to claim our divine relationships. Okay? Let's claim those divine relationships. Energetic leadership creates the extraordinary. See the divine within all and easily upgrade your relationships. And it's true. If you see the divine in you and you connect to that and you recognize that everybody has that same divinity within them, that at everyone's higher self, we are all the same, exactly the same. At our higher self, we are all exactly the same. We are in unconditional love. It's beautiful. We are joy and bliss, and we are creators. That's what we are. We created this third dimension so that we could come in a physical form and create within it through the physical form. We didn't come in here to suffer. We didn't come in here to be traumatized and to carry that around and hate ourselves because of something bad that happened to us as a child, right? So, and when you see the divine inside somebody else and you realize that they're just under a veil, they're just disconnected from that divinity. That's why they're behaving that way, is they're not connected to the divinity within themselves. So compassion their way, understanding we weren't always connected to our divinity, confirmation, right? It's beautiful. Another one that we need is time, right? Time is a resource that is important for us to have. How are you spending your time? How do you feel about time? Do you think that time is an illusion? I mean, the only thing that's happening is the now, right? We can either create from the now or we can create from the past. Which one are you doing? So sublime time is multidimensional. Be present and enjoy to collapse time. Reach your targets at the speed of love. So when we sit within the present moment, connected to ourselves, recognizing the divinity that we are, like the divine being that we are, and we sit within that space of love and joy and create from that space, what are we creating in the world? Like, how powerful are we to change everything in our reality simply by loving ourselves and sitting within that present moment, creating from that space of love? And we could radically change the whole entire world. And we just all sat down and did that, right? We wouldn't even recognize the place. If everybody sat within themselves, loved themselves, and created from that space of joy, we would not even recognize the world that we're living in, and it would happen very, very quickly, right? If we did this one day, we just said one day, today is the day that we're all going to connect to our heart. We're going to love ourselves. We're going to act as if the past never existed. We don't even have a past. We've just erased it. And we've erased the future. Okay? We erase the future. Erase the past. You're just in this moment, loving yourself, connected to your divinity, connected to your joy. What would you create from this moment outward? Like, it's just like, you can't even imagine how different the world would be. Oh, I had some extra cards. Alrighty, then we've got our yummy money, right? Money is a resource. So we're going to claim the yummy money. I'll bring it back to this side in a moment. Okay, we're going to claim the yummy money. Thriving mission. Money is designed to champion your mission. Let money do things for you and watch your mission thrive, right? We have to let go, and apparently I am. We have to let go of the concept that money is anything external to us, because nothing is external to us. It's all within. We are whole. So everything is already here. It's already, and it's within. Money is, when we look at the energetic transformation of money on this particular life, in this particular space, it's an energetic transfer. It's a transfer for goods and services. It's a transfer for a roof over your head. It's a transfer for food in your belly. It's a transfer for needs as well, right? Money isn't just something that is for, getting those extra things you want. In this realm, money is an energy that we transfer for the other things that we also need very much, right? So money's yummy. Like, if you don't look at money as something, evil, or you don't look at money as something that only some people can have, if you don't look at it as anything more than an energetic exchange, and that it's yummy to exchange that money for the things that you desire or that you require. It's yummy to have an abundance of money so that you can help others. It's yummy to have money so that you can make an impact in society, right? It's yummy to have money for those reasons, right? So money is an energy exchange. So enjoy the energy exchange. Enjoy the transfer of money. And if you're not enjoying it, what are you paying your money for? What are you buying that you're not intrinsically, you're not enjoying when you purchase it? Why are you buying it? Right? If you're buying food that you're bringing home and you're like, why are you buying that food? Why are you not buying things that you're like, yeah, That's what I want to eat. Yeah, that's what I want to drink. Yeah, that's what I want to put in my body. Yeah, that's what I want to put on my body. Right? If you're not happy with what you're transferring that for, then why are you transferring it? Hi, Kiki. Gracious greetings to you as well. I love that. That's a very lovely, a lovely hello, right? So it's true. If you're not in a state of joy and you're not enjoying the thing that you're making that transaction for, and you know what, you could say, well, I don't like that I have to pay for hydro. Well, you might not like that you have to pay for hydro, but do you like having hydro? Do you love having electricity in your home? Right? I bit my lip. It was a rough night. I did it in my sleep. I just remembered. I didn't even. I'm like, Oopsies. All right, so now we're going to get our keys and our holograms. Okay, so we got all that beautiful, yummy money to help our mission thrive. We have our time. We're on our highest timeline. Yeah, right? Either that or, those astral projections. Alrighty, we've got our infinite love meridian. Okay, so let's look at this infinite love meridian key. So this is a key and it will have a hologram to go with it. Okay, so infinite love meridian. Structured flow. Resources require clear pathways to come into your life. Open the way to grow with structure and flow. So this is that concept of, I'm going to do this right now because I think my tea just got, I let it get cold. But this is the concept of resources require clear pathways. If I want a new cup in place of this cup, I have to let this cup go so I can pick up the other one. I love you. Mwah. Look, I'll put the recordings up in the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective so that you can do the transformation stuff that we're going to do today, the energy stuff. Okay. But if you can make it into the collective at some point, great. But if not, you keep doing you, boo, and have the most beautiful, magical day. The most beautiful, magical day. I love you. Yeah. So you need to have clear pathways, right? If you're trying to manifest in the perfect relationship isn't going to sit where a toxic one already is. You have to let go of that to make room for it to come in. Also, when we look at if your brain is the functioning of this whole thing, right? If your mind, your thoughts are like running your ship, if you're following thought to thought to thought to thought to thought, and you're thinking and thinking and thinking, and you're in just that energy there, you're not going to be receiving. Right? You have to clear out the noise so that the information can come in. Right? So that's another concept of that, of allowing yourself to clear those pathways so things can come into your life, whether it's clearing things that you're physically holding on to that are blocking you from allowing things to come in, or clearing energy or blockages in that way so that things can flow, because things want to flow to you. They want to flow to you with ease. You are a magnetic being. You are a bioelectric magnetic being. And you're meant to magnetize the things that are meant for you to you, but only when you're operating from your heart space, because your heart space is the space that radiates out 9 feet from you. When we're operating in our brain space, we're only getting about 1 inch, and it's electric energy. So unless you're powered up and going and getting it, you're probably not getting it. So that's why the culture right now is in the masculine energy of the mind. And the masculine energy of the mind is hustle, hustle, do, go, 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 consume, 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 consume. Even though like our actual divine masculine energy is not about like consumption like that. But we've moved from healthy masculine into unhealthy masculine. So when we're in our thought process, we're being driven by the ego mind, right? The ego mind that is constructed within this third dimension, that has all of its conditioning and beliefs, and it has all of its concepts, and it has, you know, the thoughts that it's following, and that. And when I'm talking about the ego mind, I'm talking about the thoughts. Okay, I'm talking about the chatter in the head when you're sitting there thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. The egoic mind needs to be silenced so that you can connect to your heart, to your divinity, to the energy, to the spirit that you are, and you can make decisions from that space of what is aligned with you, as opposed to what you think you need to be doing based on all of these belief systems and conditioning and programming and, you know, all of these other things, right? So allowing your mind to silence connects you to your divine self, and when you make decisions from that space, it's always in alignment with you. Now, some people might think that I mean that, you know, you and we're not even going to go into that. We're not even going to go into that. We're not even going to go into that. We're going to stay on this track. So when we are connected to ourselves, to our higher self, I had an experience where my mind was silenced. Now, I got there through using mushrooms. After I had went through my went through my healing journey, and I had gotten myself off all my medications, and I was in a really good space. That's when I decided I was going to try mushrooms, psilocybin. I'm hoping this doesn't get muted or doesn't get shut down because I'm talking about this. But I mean, I see lots of content surrounding mushrooms. We're just talking about little toadstools anyway, right? We're talking about those white mushrooms that you get at the grocery store and you put them in bags and you eat them. Well, I ate a bunch of them. And when I ate a bunch of them, I had an experience. And the experience was, after that, I had no thoughts. Like, I disconnected from the egoic mind. And my life didn't fall apart. I didn't forget who I was. In fact, I actually remembered who I was. I realized that I did not need to think in order to do. Denise is just laughing right now. My mind was silent for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it slowly started to make noise again, right? And I knew from that point on that I did not need my thoughts. My thoughts were an accessory and not even one that I really necessarily wanted. Some of the thoughts were really bad accessories. Right? They weren't helping me at all. They're just weighing me down. And it was a beautiful space to be in, because everything that you're doing is coming from within through that space of knowing and that connection to that higher self. I didn't realize it at that time, though. At that time, I was going around going, "What the heck is this?" Yeah, for weeks. Yep, still no thoughts. I'm just doing. I'm not piloting. I'm not telling myself you have to go make coffee or you need to do this or do any of these things. I was just like, yep. And I was in awe. I was in awe for weeks. Do you know how much energy I had? Because you know how much energy your thoughts take from you? Your thoughts, the more loud your mind is, the more disempowered you are. Wow. That's a powerful saying. Right? But it's true. There's a lot of energy that is captured through the thoughts. Right? So do you want to be empowered? Do you want your power within? Because if you do, then you need to find silence within this space here, and even within the feelings. Hi, Victor. How are you? I'm doing a meditation on Saturday with Victor at 10 a.m. I finally did it. I finally booked it, and I finally sent you everything that you wanted to do that. So yay, Saturday. Okay. We talked about a lot on that card. The hologram for that respective card is the Infinite Love Meridian, Infinite Supply. Right? And this is something for us to really get behind, right? Abundance is everywhere. I was on my walk this morning and I was like, when you look at all that snow, you might look at, oh, that's just a skiff of snow. But you know the abundance of snowflakes that came together to make that skiff of snow? Do you know how many leaves and branches are on the trees in Ontario alone? The sheer abundance of blades of grass that exist around the world. Do you know the abundance of hairs on my dog and the abundance of hairs not on my dog? Do you know the abundance of hair right here? Right. Can you imagine the abundance of hair on? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm being silly. But it's true. Abundance is everywhere. So this whole concept, there's infinite supply. Infinite supply. All abundance comes from the infinite supply of source. Source is the source of creation, right? The source of all creation. There's no end to that, right? We are creating. The universe continues to grow and expand, right? It is an abundant universe. It is an abundant world. You see abundance around you all the time. And it's not that abundance is not for you, or that it's excluded from you, or there's something you have to do, some hoop you have to jump through to get it. The only thing you have to do to allow yourself to be abundant is to allow it. To just know it is your truth. And when it's your truth, it becomes your reality. What's your reality? Is your reality, are you putting your attention and your awareness on lack and on fear and on separation and on division? Or is your reality one that you're putting it on, that there is abundance, that it's your lifestyle, that it's your actual natural state is abundance, that your natural state is love, your natural state is joy? That's your natural state. So play bigger and claim your highest good. Play bigger, guys. Go big or go home. It's good. Go big or go home at 47:47. Go big or go home. 11:11. Go big or go home. The next key, vibrational visibility. Highly magnetic. Look at that. Go big or go home. That's what our starseed hashtag should be. Go big or go home. Aw, love you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah. Vibrational visibility, highly magnetic. Shine your light brightly. Be a lighthouse for your good to come to you with ease. Right? And it is. It comes to you with ease when you get out of your way. When you sit in joy and love, there's nothing blocking you. Right? We're gonna do a cool little energy thing here in a little after I'm done these cards. We've also got vibrational visibility, the hologram. So the key and then the hologram that corresponds with it. So you're just claiming or accepting this. When we're looking at the vibrational visibility, this is empowered potency. Take your seat at the table as a leader of the evolution in consciousness. Occupy your space 100%. And absolutely, you didn't come here to be small. You didn't come here to do, to just work and sleep and eat and watch TV. You didn't come here just to, put all your attention on what are the stars doing today and who's dating who and, what can I consume? What can I buy? What can I fill myself full of? You didn't come here to do that. Right? You came here to create. And when you're consuming, you're not creating. So how can you move from consumption to creation? And what do you want to create? Well, I hope that when you stop consuming, you go to a space of connecting to your higher self and create from that space outward. But you didn't come here to live small. If you're on this space here, you came here because you had plans, you had goals, you had, you wanted your soul to evolve through certain experiences. So allow the egoic mind to silence so your higher self can come through and remind you who you are, so you can let go of all that stuff that has disconnected you from the fact that you are lovable, you are loving, you are love, you are love. So love yourself. You are it. All right, we got 2 more keys and holograms. We have heart sentience, higher knowing. And this is our key. Okay. You are a vibrational recognizer. Instantly know what path to take from neutrality and inner authority. Again, it's going within, it's connecting to your higher knowing. You know. You know. And when you connect to yourself, when you go within and connect to that inner authority and allow that to propel you forward, allow that to rise up in energy. And if it feels light, if it feels evolved, if it feels like it's moving you forward through love and joy, that's where you go. That's all you have to do. Get up in the morning. What is this? Where does this light draw me to go? When I pick up my tea, do I feel lightness? I do, actually. I like my tea. I love my tea. The only time I don't love my tea is when it gets cold, until, it's the same thing with coffee, right? When you're drinking coffee, if it's hot or a good warmth, it's okay, but it gets to that like tepid or like tepid, or, I don't know, some people say tepid, some people say tepid, but anyway, a tepid temperature, that lukewarm, like almost cold, but not like ice cold, that's no good coffee. That's the yucky coffee. Then the coffee, when it gets ice cold, well, then it's good coffee again. But there's a point where I don't like it. I don't drink it then. Right? But this makes me feel good. I don't drink this and then go, ugh, I feel like heavy and weighted down. So if you wake up in the morning and you're like, ugh, ask yourself, where's the ugh coming from? Where's that weightedness coming from? If you wake up like that, then look at what you did when you were going to bed. What mood were you in when you went to bed? What were you consuming right before you went to bed? What were you doing, right? I have a bedtime routine. I have a ritual. I like to shut off from everybody and disconnect. It doesn't matter what time my mom goes to bed. I have to stay up later. I have to stay up later so I have time alone to decompress, to cleanse my energy, to go within. I do a little meditation. If my mom stays up really late, the meditation gets shortened. But I always make sure I spend at least a few minutes of just connecting inwardly. And I tell myself that I love myself and, like connect in and do all of that stuff and whatever. So, this is something that you can do as your practice before bed. Then you're going to bed in connection to you and your inner authority, loving yourself. So you're in a beautiful vibration. Your frequency is where you want it to be. You sleep in that. You'll wake up in the morning still in that space of connection and love. Connect in again. Pour some more love in there. Why not? Why not? And then ask yourself, what do you want to ingest, right? Do you want to have coffee? Do you want to have tea? Do you want to have water? Where do you want to wake up in the morning? Do you want to wake up where there's lots of light? Do you want to wake up where it's still muted and wake up slowly? What lights you up? What makes you feel good? Do you want to have conversation first thing in the morning, or do you want to stay in your silent little bubble, right? Oh, my puzzle. No. was weird. Shh. Give me 1 second. Is my mom super? She doesn't need to know I'm here. So I'm just waiting for her to leave. Everyone that knows me knows. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna go peek. Okay, I think she's gone. I think she's gone. Pink? Pink what? Sending pink? Incognito? It is. Denise is laughing at me and she has full right to. That was funny. I shushed you guys who make no noise. But I was also shushing Cass, but I was shushing you guys. You know that. Apparently you guys are very alive in my space. Right. Anyway, she might have been trying to see my mom. My mom's not here. She heard Cass bark. That's it. All right. The last hologram is this one, Mega Manifester, Heart Sentience, Mega Manifester. Epic expansion is on the way. Carol's like, I hope your mom doesn't find out that you had friends over. You are in a growth spurt, ripe and supported to realize your desires. I claim it. Totally claim it. You are it, right? This is you. You're here because this aligns with you, right? You're here because I align with you. And you're here because there's something that I'm going to say that you need to hear, right? There's something that maybe you need to share that I need to hear, right? There's a reason why we're here, but we're all here because we're resonating. We're vibrating at that frequency. That's really cool. Okay, let's see what our shaman cards are. Okay, I just had to see. I got a quick message there. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. I just had to check. I thought maybe my mom was texting me. Hi, Richard. Your mom was. Okay, come on, cards. That's like 5 all at once. You know what? I'm going to do it differently today anyway. I'm going to shuffle the cards and I'm going to pick the cards. I'm going to pick them myself, guys. I'm going to take my power back. I'm going to pick them myself. I got this. I'm just going to shuffle them and pick them. How's that? Because it'll always be the right one. That's the thing, right? If I said right now, I'm going to shuffle these and I'm going to pick the top 4 cards, there'll be the top 4 cards that we needed to hear. That's the reason why I would do it. It's because they're the right ones. Spirit's always going to make sure it's the right message that you need to hear at the right time. If we shuffle okay, it works even better. Hi, Flower Power. How are you? Hi, Uncle Chucky. How are you? We're starting now. 2, 3, 4. Okay, normally we do 4 when we're in the collective, but I'm going to do 4 today. We might not, well, maybe. Do we need 4? I don't know. 11, 11, right? So with these ones, we do have to say something. Okay, so with these ones, you have to say, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. Okay, we're not looking at this with our logic. We want to feel this. We want to observe and feel. Okay? The other thing that you say is, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body, and then at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay, so that's just what these cards ask. Okay, so you're just absorbing it. Okay, and I'm going to read the message. This is number 39. So 39 would become 12, which would become 3 again. The Holy Trinity of 3. But let's see what Water, Waterfall, Star is all about. My son just messaged me asking me to call him when I was done. 4.4K on there, which is beautiful. Okay, so Star. Your purity of spirit and heart-based actions have not gone unnoticed, my love. Your sacred presence is known and cherished by many, by those whose hearts you've expanded and whose cups you've filled with your generosity, your integrity, and your love. Hi, Mary. Bask in the knowingness that you are seen and that you are appreciated. Feel the acknowledgement. Receive the adoration. Allow yourself to be recognized for the truth of your spirit and the unconditional love that you emanate. This love that is pouring into you now is a reflection of your own greatness, dear one. The more you are able to take in, the more you serve your community by modeling graceful receiving and the expansive power of love. Right? Like, that's you. That's you. These cards are for you. Right? So let's see what this one is. This is also from Water, 36. So we had 36 and 39. We got 3, 6, 9. Anyway, 36. 3 and 6 is 9. So we've got 3 and 9. I'll see what the other card numbers are. So soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. Okay. Sorry, I didn't pull it back far enough that both could see it. So soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. Okay. Once we've felt it, then we're going to say, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay. I love that this card came out on Thanksgiving for the States with the eagle in it, right? It's just really perfect. Perfect. So let's see what card 36 is telling us. Human connection. Hi, Lily. I hope you can come to us in the collective today. We miss you. I love you. We think about you. I think about all the members of the collective, whether they show up all the time or not. I always am holding space for them. So human connection is healthy and inspiring and wonderful when it's coming from a healthy space. My love. But a lot of the time, humans reach out to connect with one another, not because they have anything to give or are even in a place to connect in an authentic way, but because they just don't want to be alone. That's not healthy connection. That's codependent bullshit. It's fine if you want to reach out to a friend for a conversation or a picnic, but make sure you're not reaching out to avoid being with yourself. Genuine connection arises out of stillness. Anchor yourself in your own stillness and your own connection with nature before picking up the phone and inviting that friend to meet up for a tea. Only when you've grounded yourself in your own foundation will you truly be available for authentic connection. Right? How beautiful is that? Hi, Flory. That's just a beautiful card. I like that. So we've got 3 and 6. We got 18. We got 9. And then we got 5 to add in the bonus because we got 77. TT, and 77 would be 14, and 14 would reduce to 5. All right, so 18, 9. 9. So download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. Oh, we got team cheers now, guys. We got team cheers. That's so cool. I don't know what team cheers is, but we got it on TikTok, guys. Soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Pura vida. ¿Cómo está? Okay, let's see what this card is. Number 18. So we're in fire now. Fire. Fire. Okay. Your authentic individual expression represents the spark of life within you. This life-giving energy inside of you isn't meant to just illuminate your own life, but the lives of many. Beautiful, as these wonderful people come in. The world needs you to be as much you as you can be. Believe in who you are, in your uniqueness and your goodness, and in all the wonderful ways you express without needing validation from anyone but yourself. When we fill our own cups by acknowledging how wonderful we are, our light shines brighter and greater and farther and wider, beyond this one little third dimension. At the same time, allow yourself to be honored and appreciated by others for all that you are. You deserve it. And you most certainly do. You most certainly do. But if we don't honor and appreciate ourselves, we won't allow other people to honor and appreciate us. Because if we don't think that we're worthy of honor and appreciation or love or any of those things, we will constantly align ourselves with experiences that show us that's how we feel about ourselves until we feel differently. Because what we want to wake up to enlightenment is loving ourselves again, right? We are love and bliss. We are love and bliss when we are in our higher self form and perfection, right? We're perfectly healed, healthy, whole. We lack nothing. And you're that now when we allow ourselves to receive that when we stop connecting to this physical form and the the consumerism and consumption, when we go back within, that's when we connect to that divinity, that wholeness, and that's how we become healed. The last card, 77. Beautiful. So we're coming up to a new moon. This moon would not be a new moon. It's a little bit bigger than that, but it looks more like an eclipse actually, but land, animal, moon. So we're going to say, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. And feel that in your body. And then soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay? And just receive that. If you truly want to connect with animals, and trust me, you do, you're going to need to do so through your emotions. Animals have a lot of wisdom to share. They may not speak in your tongue, but they do speak through feelings. It is only when you align your feelings with the animals that you will truly be able to understand them. So take some time to observe the animals in your environment. Do not analyze, for this is not an intellectual exchange. This is an emotional exchange. Observe the animal and then observe the feelings that arise in you as you do. See your reflection through the emotions of this magnificent creature. This practice will allow you to understand the animal at a profound level, as well as to understand the nature of your spirit and of the earth as well, because they too communicate through the language of vibration and feeling. And this is an important thing for us to do, because when you connect on that emotional level, you see that ensouled being that is there. When you connect in the energetic space, then you can sense that there is life in all things. There is an energy that thrums through everything. Me too, Dee. Sending them your way. We're chilling out. We're chilling here. Speaking of chilling, my coffee / tea, my tea is chilling. And we just had a conversation about it's going to get to a part where it's just not good tea at all to drink. So we're going to get to it now. I got to check up on my comments on YouTube. Unfortunately, they don't keep it sitting on the... I wish they just leave it sitting on the side that you could set it like that, but they don't. Mm-hmm. What was the raven / crow in response to, Richard? Because I saw you mentioned that, and I was in the middle of reading it and stuff, so I didn't know what you meant by that. Right. Okay, so do you want to do a little bit of energy, and then we'll get into some cards, and we'll maybe just do the Magdalene manifestation cards for Jupiter Day, because it's a beautiful Thursday. Or we can just save it for when we can communicate in the collective. That'll make it easier too. But yeah, I didn't know if it had something to do with the passage that I was reading or the card that I was, because that was the turtle card. So I didn't know if it had to do with that. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I understood. All right, so do you guys want to do a little bit of energy thing beforehand? Do you want to do a little energy thing? This might make you cry, so are we okay with that? You're in a space where if you do connect in and it does make you feel emotional, that you're going to be okay with that? Okay. It might not do anything but make you feel really, really, really happy and really, really full of love and really, really beautiful, right? So it's not, it's going to just bring, it might make you feel something. And that's what we came here to do, is to feel. But I want you to feel something really, really powerful right now. Okay? This is an easy technique, and you should do this as much in all throughout your day. Throughout your day, all the time is too much. We don't want to do all of something all the time, right? But we want to do it. Okay? Okay? So, when we connect into our body energetically, the ego sits at the solar plexus. It's hard for you guys. You don't get to see as low down. And I'm not far back enough, but you guys know where your ego center is, where your solar plexus is, right? So our heart center is where the divine feminine energy sits. The ego, or the solar plexus, is where the divine masculine energy sits. And don't worry, it used to be at the root and at the sacral, and as it moves up, the masculine becomes the throat and the feminine becomes the third eye. And then it's unity, right? This is complete and utter unity. So we're here. Where our ego sits is where we oftentimes, or society tells you, that's where your center is. And that's not your center. That's your center in this physical form, or this physical incarnation. But your soul sits in the heart space. Right, your part of your spirit that's inhabiting this body, the seat of it is in your heart. So in the center, and this is the center of the chakra systems as well. There's 3 below and 3 above, right? Between the throat, the third eye, and the crown. There's 3 above. There's the solar plexus, there's the sacral, and there's the root below. So when we connect into our heart space, when we connect into that space, we are connecting to our soul, as well as if we're connecting to the physical heart or to the heart chakra, we're connecting to that energy space. What I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to sit within that space. Just sit within your heart space, and you're going to put 2 fingers. You can do one from each hand. I was doing this whole thing this morning with taking my thumbs and placing them and holding my fingers, connecting all those energy centers that are at the tips of your fingers and connecting to the heart. But you don't have to do anything fancy like that. You can just put your thumb and your forefinger on your chest. Okay, and you're just going to close your eyes, and you're going to focus on that space. Now, I lit up right away because I've been doing this a bit, so I can connect in very quickly. And you will get there over time as well. It's just right now you're creating a new path. So it's like walking across the grass for the first time. As you continue to walk across the grass, you're going to make it go down to dirt, and then eventually the grass will spread apart a little bit further, and you'll have a nice, beautiful path. And that's what we're doing when we're rewiring our neural pathways in our brain. And we're going to do the same thing through connection. So you're just putting your 2 fingers on your chest and closing your eyes and connecting into your heart space. You're not doing anything fancy at this point. You're just connecting into that space and into the energy that resides there. Now, this next part is where you may feel something come to you, because you're going to take that energy that you're sitting in and you're going to expand it outwards to touch your fingers. And you're just going to connect into your physical being from that energy within you, your soul that seats in your chest, right? It is such a quick and easy thing when you get there, right? When you connect into that space and you radiate that energy out to connect to the physicality, because you are the energy, and the energy is existing within space, and the space is, everywhere. Well, let's block that spam number. When it's identified as spam, that makes my job easier. Right? How does that feel? How does that feel when you did that? We got 7-7 here, so beautiful. And we got 5-1-1-5 there. Look at all the synchronicities. All right, so try this again. For those of you that just showed up and haven't done this, okay, we're just gonna do this again. Take your 2 fingers, place them on your center of your chest. Close your eyes. Feel into the energy in the center of your being. When you connect into that space, connecting into your heart, connecting into that energy, you're going to expand that outward, and you're going to try to touch your fingers with your soul. Do you think you can take that a few times and do that a few times throughout the day? Did your mind get really silent? Mine does. When I do that, my mind isn't doing anything. Yeah, that's how much energy, like you have so much energy. Chexie got dizzy. A wave of energy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So keep doing it. Keep connecting to that. That's you. That's you, right? You're not your thoughts, because if your thoughts cease, you still exist. We've had moments of silence in our mind throughout time, right? It doesn't just poof, right? When another way you want to drop into meditation even quicker, right? If we connect into that space, right, into that seat in the center of our being, if we seat within that space, and then imagine you just arrived on this earth right now. You have no past, you have no future. Just this energy that landed in this body that you are connected to in this moment. That's it. This moment. Right? How beautiful is that? Right? So do that. Make that a healthy routine for yourself. Okay? To connect inward and to connect to the energy that is you. Right? And try to detach from the thoughts or from the feelings that you've associated with everything, and try to just observe, right? Observe the reality that you're in. And if you can step into that space of, I have no past and I have no future, I've just arrived here in this physical body, I'm connecting in. Now, with all that I have the capability to do, what do I want to create from this space of love and knowing, right? Knowing your inner self, knowing all the knowledge that you have, because that's connecting in there. When you connect into that space, that's where you connect to, is that knowing, that complete access to the all, right? That's the first step to getting into that connection of the all, is connecting to you and silencing the conditioning and the programming and the you should do this or you should do that or you should this. You know, when I was in therapy, I used to say all the time, don't should on yourselves and don't should on me. And I mean SHOULD, right? Shoulding, should, like, and so I thought I would make t-shirts with that at one point in time, and somebody else brought it to my mind today about don't should on yourself. And it's true. Right? So how can you step into that space? Right? So do this as a healthy practice. Okay, let's get some cards going. We don't have a lot of people here today, and that's fine. Soft and intimate. Okay. So let's, if you want a card, I'll pull the Magdalene cards. We'll get some abundance key codes and holograms for you. So we'll see what you need. Okay, what do you need for your abundance, right? What would be a key or a code or a hologram that you need, or resource, sorry, for your abundance to manifest in this reality? Okay, so that's the question that we're asking for. Okay. So for you, River Spirit, ecstatic bliss. So just claim it. Joyful simplicity. Okay, and everybody you can claim the card. You'll only receive what you're meant to receive, so you can claim it if you wish. But this is for River Spirit. Bliss exists in every moment. Home in on what matters most to you. Simplify to amplify your results. I got chills for you. Like, I feel like that was an expansive receiving, that was received in a very expansive way. It was like, wow, yes, right? Simplify to amplify your results. Many times we think that the only way that we can have something is if we go out and grab it, if we work hard for it. We've got to, sometimes we just go, do. I've got to get it, right? I'm going to get it. I'm going to run fast enough. I'm going to work hard enough. I'm going to put in enough effort and I'm going to get it. But you don't need to do that. Okay, because that's completely ignoring your feminine aspect, which is just to receive things, just to allow things to flow to you. And when we are in connection with ourselves, when we're in alignment, it's like opening the tap. Like if you look at this, thinking of this like a tube, right? Like a tube, and this is you. If you're not in alignment, the water falls right here. The water's falling right here. This is a big old river. This is you in alignment. If you're in this space, you're in alignment. It's filling up. That whole tube is full of everything that's meant for you. But what we do is we disconnect from our authenticity and we're over here and we literally pull ourselves out of that flow of abundance by disconnecting from that. All you have to do is connect in to the space where you are in your authenticity and create from that space of love and joy, and the water flows right in and out, like it's just abundance flows with ease. So that's the joyful simplicity. It's not about doing a lot. It's about being in alignment with whatever you are doing. Gotta read my comments again, just hang on. Oh, Dee. That's quite the cap. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're crowned. People are being crowned. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Alrighty, D. What does D mean? Ooh, Denis. D, you got, so I'm like literally shaking. Like there was just a lot of energy there. Sublime time. Okay, so highest timeline. Highest timeline. Time is multi-dimensional. Be present and enjoy to collapse time. Reach your targets at the speed of love. Alrighty, who's next for a card? Whoop, Rejoice, I think, asked for a card. Right? Rejoice. Source union. Okay, so you don't have to say anything fancy with these cards. You just claim it. I love you. Okay, so source union. Divine connection. Embody higher consciousness. Master applying source energy by creating your deepest desires. So what is the deepest desires that you have? You have them for a reason. right? When you have the idea, oh, I so wish I could do this, or I so wish I could do that, or you know what, if time, money, if everything, there was nothing that was in my way and nothing to stop me, and you know, like it was a perfectly ideal world, what would I do with my time? What would I create? What do I love? What would I do with all of that? When you can come from that space, then everything you're creating is magical. It's in alignment with you, and it's magnetic because it's created from that space. So it's going to bring things to it, right? So this is a beautiful, beautiful energy of allowing yourself to step into that. So embodying higher consciousness is connecting to your higher self, right? Which we were just doing that today with that little exercise of sitting in the seat of your heart, connecting to that space, and then allowing that energy to push outward and touch your fingers with it that you're holding in on your chest, right? So to teach yourself that you are more than just, you know, you are that energy, you are expansive. That energy can be commanded, or you can do something with that energy, right? So allow yourself to sit within that space, and what do you want to create from there? What do you want to create from here? As opposed to what do you think you need to create from here? Because when we're in here, oftentimes this one is saying, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or who are you to think you could do that, right? Or look at how they're doing it, or look at the, you know, the money that they're making doing that. I don't think that I can do that, right? This is the disconnecting from that space, right? From allowing that. Okay, rejoice, sorry. All right, did anybody else want a card? Because I'm going to shut off at noon. Okay, at noon we're stopping here. And then I am going to set up the meeting for the collective. I do have to call my son briefly before we go into the collective, but I'll start it up at noon. Carol? Perfect. Carol, what does Carol need to hear today, Spirit? What will help Carol's manifestations? What does Carol need to know? Birthright of love, authentic expression. This is Carol's. Okay. So remember, you don't have to do anything to get it. You're just claiming it. I'm not just saying anything with these ones. Love is a given and an action. Take one aligned action inspired by your authentic self for the joy of it. So how can you, and that's the whole do what love would do, right? Because love is an action. So how, if you're doing things through the act of love, that's highly magnetic because it's one of the most highest vibrational frequencies. So again, how can you come from that space of love, come through from your heart, and create from that space going forward? What would you create from that space if nothing was in your way? If nothing was, if you just landed here, so you don't have your past, you don't have all that conditioning, you don't have all those people that have told you you have to be this way or have to be that way, or you can't do this or you can't do that. You're just in this space. You have no future because you just came in. What would you create from that space of love? You still have your likes and dislikes. You still have the things that you know naturally light you up. What would you create? What would you create? Because you don't have that mindset that's telling you can't do this, or you shouldn't do that, or you're too small for this, or you're too big for that. You're not enough. You're too much. That's not your higher self. That's not your spirit. Right? So create from that authentic space and do it with joy and love, and watch it. That you have that birthright of abundance, like every one of us does, a birthright of abundance. Okay, on this side, transformational. What does transformational need to hear today, Spirit? Whoa, 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 whoa. Too many, but one went really far. Aw, love ambassador. Magdalene Love Being, the love ambassador. Okay, the love ambassador, so you're just claiming that card. The love ambassador, lead the evolution in consciousness from love. Graciously receive support from others, love beings, and source. I love that for you, transformational. Perfect. Perfect. And we all should be. We all should be leading from love. Not love that's, you know, the conditioned love that we have within this realm, but unconditional love. And unconditional love isn't about acceptance of all or toleration of everything. That's no. That is that's just silly, right? When we come down here and, you know, as like there's many of us that are master teachers, there's many of us that have chosen, we've all chosen to evolve. Every single one of us have chosen to come to this planet for the evolution of our soul. We wanted to evolve beyond, you know, and evolve the collective at the same time, right? We want to evolve the entire collective of the earth. So we come here to do that, and some of us, we get trapped within the conditioning and the programming and the matrix that we're within, right? From the distortions that have taken us and disconnected us from self. But at the sense of self, yes, some way more than others. If you look at it like this, if you look at evolution like this, where you start down at the bottom and you're spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling up, everyone is evolving in that same spiral upwards, right? We're just at different levels of that walk, but we're all going to the same point, right? So we have to have compassion and understanding for the people that are down here, because we were down there too. And we maybe are evolved, and maybe some of us are here in this green layer, maybe some of us are up in this layer, maybe some of us are in there. A very, very, very teeny, tiny, tiny few are at the point, right? There are a lot of us down on the bottom still, a lot of them down on the bottom, right? And there's less people in the levels of enlightenment as you go to the top. But so there's two ways to look at that, right? If we look at it from a collective space of us all at different levels, but we also, in our evolutionary of ourselves, we are getting to this point. We're returning to love is what we are, right? What's the point? To get to the point. Right? So if we can look at it from compassion and understanding, in the sense that we've all been there and have evolved beyond it, and so they are just shrouded or veiled much more than we are at this time. That's it, at this time. That doesn't mean that they always will be, right? But it's just the programming was strong on them. Right? Good morning, Edie. How are you, love? Nice to see you. It's been a while. Mwah. Okay, I need to take a tea. Welcome back, Richard. Okay, I think it was Cindy, but I have to check. I love you. Cheryl. Hi. I'll get you next, Amethyst. Cheryl, holy, multi, the abundance, simultaneous wealth. You are multifaceted. Create abundance in multiple areas of your life simultaneously. That's such a powerful one, right? I had that message a long time ago, and that's what made me do things like I created books, I created education, I created group programs, I did tarot readings. I had so many different things that I put out there because I wanted to basically give a lot of streams for that abundance to flow in through, right? So just having a bunch of those different ones. So this is a beautiful concept of just putting more irons in the fire to give yourself more opportunities for the fire to turn into a blaze, right? And to me, it's just saying there's a lot of abundance that's coming into you, and it's going to come to you in a multitude of different ways. Okay. It's good to see you too, Edie. All right. Spiritual love. Amethyst. Crystal. Stoking the fire. I like it. But abundance is coming in. It's going to come in a variety of ways. Okay, so just put your love into whatever you're creating and know, right, with absolute certainty, know that it's returning to you tenfold. Okay, just know that. All right. All right, amethyst. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like I'm going to pull all those 4 cards back. You can, but you can. Anybody can ask a question. I don't always answer them if somebody asks the wrong kind of question, because I like to leave it open like that. You can ask questions. I reserve the right to answer, but you can always ask them. Because sometimes people come on and they're like, can I ask a question? And they ask me something like severely offside or inappropriate. So I don't answer those. So, when you say, can I ask a specific question? Depends on the question, whether I'll answer it. But you can ask. Alrighty, amethyst. Again, not all the cards, honey. Or even 5 of them. Like 1. It's again, all like 5 of them. Every time has been like 5 of them. And I know 5, 5, 5. Finally, we got 1. I almost dropped them though. I almost dropped them and got a whole bunch more. They went like that. Spiritual love. Magdalene love body. Multi-D communication. Okay, so you can accept that or receive that card as well. Okay, so receive that card. Your energy field communicates across dimensions. Telepathically call in optimal resources and relationships. Why would you not just believe that they will be? And why would you allow that to be? I'm sorry. I mean, why would you? I'm just curious. I'm curious why. So one thing I'm going to say is right off the bat. If they're brand new windows that you just got to be installed, even if they did leak, what are you going to do? You're going to call the company that put them in place and did the shoddy job, and you're going to say you need to fix the mistake that you've made, and they're going to uphold the warranty, right? And they'll fix it, right? And as a powerful consumer, which we don't want to be a consumer, we want to be a creator, but you could also remind them that, if they did do shoddy work and they don't uphold the shoddy work that they did and repair it, that you are going to do what you can as a consumer and report that they have done a crappy job and did not step up and own their mistake. So other people won't utilize their business, and that loss of finances that they have a potential to suffer, they're going to want to make sure that they do a good job for you. Right? So you have power when you take it back to you. But when we put the power into the wrong space, which is what that is doing, are they going to, well, don't even question it. Why would they? There's no reasonable reason why you should have that expectation in your wheelhouse, right? Have you had windows installed by these guys before, and has their windows been installed and they did a shoddy job? Because if they did, then you shouldn't use them again, right? Why did you let it freak you out? Why did you not just observe it? What did they do that freaked you out? Right? They've been very good so far, but when I saw what they did, it freaked me out. You can think differently. You're the one that's thinking the thoughts. They're not making you think the thoughts. Hello, Phoebe. Hey, love. Right? If you want to work on a thought, then do this to yourself. Who in me is afraid? Yeah. So that's something that they need to address. Right? But you as the consumer have the conversation, right? Bring that up, right? Who in me is afraid? You're saying all of you is afraid. Who is you? Who is you? So ask yourself, who in me is afraid? And if it says all of me is afraid, then ask yourself, who is me? Who is me? Right? Because you're not your body. You're not your feelings. You're not your thoughts. They are a facet of your being. They're an experience, right? I know. I think that you would benefit from hanging out with us more here because we have a very, very supportive environment, especially in the collective. Mm-hmm. Right? The power is in your hands. That's the other thing. Like the power is truly in your hands, right? The only time that the power isn't in our hands is when we give it away to somebody else. We give it to somebody else. But maybe you didn't make wrong decisions. Those were decisions were something that you made so that you could have an experience, so that you could learn something. And did you learn it? And if you've learned it, then that's not a mistake. That's a lesson. And if you didn't learn it, then you'll get to re-experience it until you do learn it. And then it's no longer a mistake. It becomes the lesson that it was intended to be. How long you experience it until you learn the lesson from it is entirely up to you. Hi, Tiffany. Thank you, Phoebe. Right? We do not need to suffer. We choose it. We choose it by what we give our energy to. Right? I use the example all the time of my stepfather did terrible things to me. My stepfather did so many things to me. Don't say that. Don't say that. Because if you knew, you wouldn't be asking the questions, or you wouldn't be experiencing it the way that you're experiencing it. And the reason why I'm saying don't say the yes, I know, because yes, I know means you're not open to learning anything, because you already know, and know means I know it all. I don't need to open up my awareness to hear anything, to learn anything, because I already know. Mm-hmm. And that's a choice, right? Because once we say, like a habit, once I identify that I have this habit, it's no longer a habit, it's a choice. It's only habitual when the conscious awareness is not on it, right? So if I'm saying that I'm addicted, or that, that I have a habit of doing these things, I'm consciously choosing to continue to have that as a part of my reality. Because once I identify it as an addiction or a habit, and I continue to do it, I'm making the choice to continue the behavior, or to keep that within my life. Does that mean that there's not effort that has to be put in, or there's not consistency that has to be put in, or that sometimes within putting the consistency in and doing the work, that you won't have a couple of steps back, or you won't, have a moment where your brain takes control of the bus and you're just along for the ride? Nope. Still happens to me occasionally. I still every now and then will feel the hit of rejection, and I will be like, ah, but I pull myself back and I'm like, wait, the only one that can reject you is you. Right? No, it doesn't. So there may be many individuals within your family who have addiction, right? Addiction is a byproduct of having experienced pain and trying to numb out from that pain, not being disconnected from self, right? Addiction is typically founded through, in a lot of trauma. There's a common thing in trauma where we say that genetics loads the gun, trauma pulls the trigger. So when we look at genetics of alcoholism, right, there's no genetics of it. This is just what they tell you, because when you buy into that, then you buy into the concept that because my grandmother was an alcoholic, and because my father was an alcoholic, and because my cousin's an alcoholic, I have a higher percentile of being an alcoholic, right? So when I adopt that as and saying it's my genetics, that gives my power to it because I have no control over my genetics. That's what they sell us, right? You have no control over that, right? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Congratulations. Love to you. That's amazing. That's amazing, right? So when they say, like, there's all these things that we get told so that we have a belief system, because that belief system keeps us in a state of fear, lack, living small, thinking we're not good enough, conditioning ourselves to believe things like age, right? When we sit there in our mind and we think that at 65, I gotta retire, I'm too old to work, I gotta get my cane and start, winding down and retiring and getting slow, and I'm gonna die now. That's what you do because your belief system is such that as I get 65, I become old, and as I become old, I get feeble, and as I become feeble, I become useless to society, and I'm just going to wither, and I'm going to die. Something's going to get me. One of these, maybe the big C will get me, or maybe that C will get me, or maybe that thing will get me, or that thing will get me. It's all your thoughts that are bringing it to you. It's all those emotions that are bringing it to you, your belief system, all of that you start to create out of. When we disconnect from that and we go within and connect to ourselves, we are always healed, healthy, and whole. And there's none of that stuff. Like there's no, if I would say that the way that I would capture alcoholism or addictions being genetic is that it's a conditioning, because you have seen the patterned behavior of other people within your family who experience pain or trauma and choose to use alcohol to avoid it. Right? And because society sells that to us as well. Right? Many of us, like I quit drinking years ago, and I still get asked at every family thing, are you still not drinking? I didn't stop drinking as a momentary thing. I don't drink at all. I don't drink alcohol at all. I don't find a purpose to put a toxin in my body at all like that. Once I knew the the toxicity that alcohol is, I had no desire to consume it anymore. Right? So I made that conscious choice. But I still get asked every single time, and people question you. Why don't you drink? Why don't you drink? Why aren't you having a drink? Oh, are you boring? Are you this? Like they actually make you feel bad for making a healthy decision. They make you feel bad for not poisoning yourself. Essentially. Now, I don't care if anybody else wants to drink. That's your choice. You freedom of choice. Right? But I will talk about it from the sense of I don't think that you genetically have anything within your DNA, anything within your coding that says I am going to be an alcoholic because my family was. There's nothing genetically. Like it's not like it sits on this receptor, or when you go into your DNA code and you go down your AGCG down the ladder and you get to, there it is on gene key, whatever, there's the addiction. That's not the way that it works. It's just a conditioned thing, or it's a way that your family has shown you that when they are experiencing those things, this is how they like to manage. Right? Love you, Phoebe. We're kind of doing a variety of things today, and I'm giving just a card. We're doing the Magdalene manifestation card. So what I've been doing is pulling a card for everybody who wants a card, and giving them their key code. So what do they need in order for them to be the, be abundant, or to bring abundance to them. And I forgot, I didn't tell you about the other part, right? So telepathically call in optimal resources and relationships, right? So sit in that center, magnetize that out to you, and send out the energy of I am calling the things to me that are needed or required, or that are in alignment with this thing. Like literally see yourself calling it to yourself. See yourself sending out those cords of energy, seeking out the things that resonate and belong to you and that are in alignment with your goals and your mission and your love and your joy, and allow that all to come back to you. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, not that card though, but that's what I was doing right now. So the vibrational multi-D communication. Okay, so your energy field communicates across dimensions, Crystal. So connect into and telepathically reach out and bring back to you whatever is in alignment with you. Okay. All right, Edie is next. What does Edie need to hear today? Sorry, I get sometimes conversate or sometimes things make me stop and get on a chitty chat. I don't know where everybody went. Maybe they went to this side. I don't know. Ooh, Edie. The resource of radiant energy. Okay, so radiant energy. This is a beautiful card. Optimal vibrancy or vitality. Okay, so this card is talking about that being energized is natural. So you know what is for you when it makes you feel light and energetic, and you know what's not for you when it makes you feel depleted or when it makes you feel heavy and weighted down. So if you eat something and it makes you feel heavy, it's not something that you're meant to eat, because you're meant to be eating things that give you energy, that energize you. That's the point of consuming food, is to have energy. It has nothing, you know, and with that energy, the energy has to be healthy, right? So we want to make sure that we're getting the minerals and nutrients that our physical being needs as well. So but when we sit with anything, when you're with a person, if you leave that person and you feel heavy afterwards, you don't feel lighter, or you don't at least feel like you haven't gotten heavier or feel some weight within your energy field, that's how you know it's for you or not for you. So say no to what drains you and yes to what lights you up, and then you become highly magnetic, because then you're operating in your alignment by going with what makes me feel good. Because when I feel good, I'm connected to God, right? I'm connected to myself, my inner self. Okay. All right, Carmen. What does Carmen need to hear today, Spirit? Can we get a good message for Carmen? What? Carmen, the Temple of Love. Okay. So I'm going to let you look at that card. Okay, and you just have to receive it. No, I'll pull yours next, Phoebe. Temple of Love. So the Temple of Love, Carmen, this is talking about your physical radiance, right? And when you actually see people, when they do their healing journey, they go through what they've dubbed the glow up, right? And they somehow, as they heal, they connect to their authentic self, as they raise themselves through the heaviness of trauma that they've kept stored in their body, and they release that, they actually become lighter, and you radiate this glow that emanates from within you, because it's no longer covered with, you know, all of those thoughts and beliefs and feelings and fears and, you know, stuff that we've used as or stuff that we've picked up along the way. So your body's capacity to receive more without the crash is key. Prepare for more income, impact, and time. So this is about you recognizing that things are going to come in and they are going to improve. You're going to see that starting to come to you. You're going to start to feel that coming within there. But right now, you're at that stage of preparing for it. You're preparing to receive what you need to receive. So in this space, if you want to receive the things that are aligned with you, then get into alignment with you so that you are receiving those things. And that's the message from that card. All right, Phoebe. Hi, Dave. How are you? Not that Dave, guys. For all my friends that are like, what? You're welcome. All righty. We got this one before and we're getting it again, but I do have to turn my phone's ringer thingy off. Just hang on. That's why I'm hearing it go bzz and stuff. Okay. So, Phoebe, you got the source union as well. So this card came out earlier. Source union, resourced wealth. Okay. Be resourced. Connect with the source of all abundance and tap into the field of infinite possibilities. Okay? So, source is abundance, and you are abundance. Abundance is your birthright, right? So, when you connect with source of all in abundance, and knowing that you are beyond just this physical body, that you are a powerful creator, powerful creator. Look at all that you've created thus far. You've created emotions in other people. You've potentially created life with having children, or you've created experiences with other people. You've created relationships. You've created all kinds of things throughout your lifetime. You've affected other people through your interaction with them. So you are capable of creating, and the point of is finding out how to create from that sense of self, from that connection to source, right? That connection to the now moment, rather than creating from the logic center, chasing some dream that you think you need to have, while also battling all of those thoughts telling you you can't do this or you shouldn't do that, right? That energy that's there. When we step out of that space and step into our heart and create from there, we are connected to source, we're connected to ourselves, and we are creating from that very beautiful aligned space. So that's your message. Okay. Alrighty, guys, I love you. I have time for maybe one more card. If somebody wants a card, just let me know. And then I'm going to hop off of here. We will be in the collective at 12:30. I'm just going to take 15 minutes before I get there. Sherry. I'm going to take 15 minutes. Sherry's the last one. So Sherry, or Cherry, sorry, Sherry. What does Sherry need to hear today, Spirit? Ooh. So this is what you need for your manifestations. We have love conception. So optimal environments, right? It's important to be in a positive environment where you're creating. It's not just about aligning with people, but you have to align with the environment. If the space that you're in, if you feel off, or you feel like energetically like ick, then that's not going to be a great space to be connecting or creating from. So create from the inner sanctuary of source. So going inward, that little connection that we did where we connected to our heart space, and we reached out with that energy towards our fingers and connected, and we felt that beautiful divine inner being that we are. If we can connect into that space in the present moment, and then move forward creating from that, we're going to be creating so much more beautiful aligned things for us. So envision that seed, though, as you're creating it. And if you want to sit in manifestation and you want to manifest what's going forward, if you go on my profile, it's connected to my website, which is mindbodyspirithealthyself.com. On there, under plans and pricing, is the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. So that's the collective. It's a very supportive environment. We are in the process of at some point creating, so Wednesdays will be a special Wednesday where we're going to be doing a healing circle, and you can apply to be the individual that is being healed within that circle, but that's coming up, probably being launched at least next month, if not January. It depends on how long it takes for me to create all the stuff that go around that. January, so this program, or this collective, sorry about dipping off the card for a second here, but the collective meets currently 5 days a week. And it's a super supportive environment. I started it at an introductory level of the price of a TikTok or a YouTube subscription. So it was $8.88 Canadian per month for all of the support and all of the help that you could get, energy work that we do. Like, it doesn't matter what level of your healing or evolution that you're on, as long as you are wanting to evolve and willing to do what's necessary to evolve, right? If you want to stay in woe is me land, then that it's probably not the space for you. But if you want to move out of victimhood and become the victor of your life, then the collective is definitely a space for you that's very supportive and very loving. Um, and we meet, like I said, 5 days a week. So currently it started out as $8.88, then went to $13. And when I've talked with the people that are in the collective now, they think that it is absolutely a steal and that I'm not doing myself any service by offering it at that price. In January, it's going to go up to $100. So if you want to get in, now is the time to get into the collective. Now is the time to get into the collective before it becomes $100. Okay, so if you want to be a part of a beautiful, supportive, loving environment where you have access not just to me, but other powerful healers like Denise, other channels, other intuitives, and it's an amazing, amazing environment. So if that's something that you'd like because you really, really are tired of the struggle or tired of the same cycles, or you know that you want to heal and you want to awaken, then definitely join us. Good morning, Xandrian, another member of our beautiful collective right here. We have so many. So if you're in that manifestation state, so you're creating, and this is back to Sherry, you're creating, right? You're creating from the I am space. You're creating from the center, from the seat of your heart in that love and joy, and you're doing it because this really, really, you love it, and you know it's of benefit, right? And you're doing it from that space. Sit there and envision that being so full of love. Maybe see it as a little child. You're packing all of this into your love conception, and you're sending that little child out into the world to go and bring back everything that it's meant to bring back, to connect with the resources that is required for that, connecting to the time, the energy, the money, and the relationships, so that all of that comes back to you as it's meant to. But you're putting the love in there and you're releasing it with love out into the world so that it brings that back to you. So this is that optimal environment. Okay. All right, guys, I love you. For those of you that are not following me to the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective, I'll see you back here on TikTok on Tuesday. TikTok on Tuesday for Tarot Tuesday. If you want to catch me before then, you can connect with me on YouTube on Monday, where we do a pick a gem reading. So I give 3 different crystals and I do it live on the air, the readings. These are deep readings. It could be wisdom from your higher self. It could be messages from source. It could be, a channeled message from Mother Gaia. It's coming from, whatever for the Monday. So that's a live pick a crystal reading with 3 options available to you. If you want to connect with me even sooner than that, the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective is a beautiful way to do that. But you can also sign up for a full reading or any of the other products and services that I have there. And if you're questioning what I have to offer and have some questions that you'd like answered, then sign up for a free clarity call and we can have a discussion then about my products, my services, my packages, what I would recommend for you. I really do have a lot of inexpensive things because I don't think that healing should be exclusive to the wealthy. And I believe that all of us can be wealthy at some point. But for that, I did create a lot of stuff that was really inexpensive, or I do a lot of things for free, like coming here and helping out. So anyway, I love you guys. Come and join us at the collective, or come and check out some of the other things that we have there. For those of you that are coming with me, I'll see you there. For those that aren't, I'll see you where I see you next. Love you.